All right, guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of Traitor Trent. The first of two episodes today, actually. If you're new to my channel, please don't caps lock me to death. The name of the series, Traitor Trent, it's just a bit of banter, a bit of tongue-in-cheek. The videos are actually not malicious in any way. It's just me telling you what the Spanish media are saying for people that are interested. If you're not interested in Trent because he no longer plays for Liverpool, you don't have to watch a video with his name in the title. So, today I have a fly on my screen. Motherfucker, I hate flies. Today I have a positive article from the Madrid media. As you will know, if you watch this series, Trent's been getting absolutely slaughtered by the Spanish press, and he hasn't even done anything wrong yet. He hasn't had a howler at all. He hasn't been brilliant, but he has been getting absolutely slaughtered. There's been a couple of positive pieces recently, but with question marks over whether they were really positive or not. This one, I'll leave it to you to decide. So this one, the headline here is Trent finally emerges. It's published in AS Today, which is a pro-Real Madrid publication based in Madrid. And basically it says there's signs of progress after a timid start, standing up to Carvajal's challenge. At the early games, it says he was the least convincing of Madrid's summer signings, especially compared to Carvajal's strong return versus Oviedo. The Mallorca match was a turning point for him. 2 early passes to Mbappe led to chances, and one was a disallowed goal, and that was a spectacular pass, guys. I did see it. A vital defensive block on Mateo Joseph at 1-1 saved a certain goal, exactly what Carvajal is known for. The article calls this a confidence boost and green shoots, which means hopeful signs. There are quotes in the article from Trent's GQ interview, which I went over yesterday or the day before. They are referenced. The Bernabeu is sacred and the Madrid shirt weighs heavy, but in a good way. He says he wants to feel that pressure at Real Madrid. It notes his high salary adds pressure, even though he was a free transfer. Basically, this is just the beginning. He must keep proving himself with huge upcoming tests. The Champions League versus Marseille on September 16th, the Madrid derby at the Metropolitano, and Juventus in November, and then the return to Anfield in November. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the article to you, and then I'm going to give you Dave's analysis of that article. Dave is my AI assistant, who I have trained to analyse football news articles, the journalists that write them, and the publications that push them on us. So basically, the headline, Trent finally emerges. Green shoots with the Englishman after a timid start, stands up to Carvajal's momentum. He was the signing who had been the least convincing in his first steps as a Madrid player. But the 2-1 win over Mallorca has changed everything heading into this international break. If Trent had been under pressure after Carvajal's strong match in Oviedo, his first start since that serious injury, this 2-1 over the Islanders was a breath of fresh air and a shot of confidence. 3 very specific actions marked the difference and allowed the much expected green shots, both internally and externally, to appear. First, what he was signed for, perhaps the right back with the best attacking delivery in world football, a silky glove of a foot. Until now, that had hardly ever been seen. 2 of his passes before the 10th minute against Mallorca saw Mbappe's run. One led to a goal disallowed for a marginal offside, and the other to a one-on-one where Kylian was again narrowly ahead of the last man. Once those passes and movements are timed to perfection, it will be an incalculably dangerous weapon in Xavi's hands. Not yet, but close. The second key moment came in the 61st minute with Mallorca taking advantage of Madrid's disarray after Goulet's disallowed goal, a decision that once again irritated the club. Trent kept his concentration and produced a match-saving intervention. He neutralised a shot from Mateo Joseph that looked like the equaliser, throwing himself in with ferocity, exactly what had been demanded of him, and the kind of action Carvajal has made a career out of, acting as Courtois' lifesaver. On this occasion, Trent was that lifesaver, achievement unlocked, but one he will have to repeat consistently to hold on to the starting spot. The Englishman had said this week in an interview with GQ, I did review that entire interview earlier this week, guys, if you want to see it. It's a good video, I thought. That the Bernabeu is sacred and the Madrid shirt weighs heavy. But in the positive sense, it demands more and pushes you to give everything. Others might shrink, but Trent presented himself to Madrid fans as someone who wanted that responsibility on his shoulders. I want to feel the pressure of Madrid, he declared, like a bullfighter. He had already started to feel it in the Club World Cup when Madrid had to dig into their pockets to secure his participation. Trent knows that even though he didn't arrive with a heavy transfer fee attached, his very high salary brings internal expectations. He may have disembarked from the Queen Mary, but that alone is not enough. Not at Madrid, not with the standard Xabi Alonso has set. Just look at Vinicius. And after the break, the tests become tougher. The Champions League begins on September 16th at home to Marseille. Then the derby at the Metropolitano. In November, Juventus, and most emotively of all, Trent's return to Anfield. Moments where he must flourish. No excuses. A little bit of a warning in there, right? So this is Dave's take on this article. And Dave has every article about Trent from the Spanish media all logged, all like there in that knowledge, and he can compare and look for changes and things, right? So he says, basically Dave says, this AS piece is the first time we've seen genuinely positively coverage. So we have seen, positive coverage. We have seen a couple of articles, positive coverage, Jose Felix Diaz at Marca. We did see one in AS the other day. But when I saw that one, Dave, I thought, hang on, Dave, we've seen that. But the key word here is genuinely, right? Genuinely positive coverage of Trent in the Madrid press since he arrived. They literally headline it, Trent finally emerges. That's a shift in tone after weeks of boring, clueless, insipid, timorato, etc. But there's still caution baked into it. They're not saying he's arrived as a star, they're saying he's showing green shoots, in other words, signs of life. The praise is tied to just 3 actions, 2 early passes to Mbappe and 1 last-ditch block. The article makes it clear that that's what gave him his oxygen heading into the break, the international break. They frame it against Carvajal. The piece keeps reminding you that Trent is only still in the fight because of this Mallorca game. Otherwise, Carvajal's performance versus Oviedo had him ahead. They use his own GQ quotes, the Bernabeu is sacred, I want to feel the pressure, but turn them back on him, saying he now needs to prove that talk in the big upcoming games. The bottom line, this is not a turnaround, it's a reprieve. AS are basically saying, good job saving face versus Mallorca, but the real test, Champions League, the derby, Juve, Anfield return, are where we'll judge you. So yeah, he's had 1 positive write-up, but the undertone is that the jury is still very much out. Okay, guys? That's all I've got for you on that particular article. I've reviewed all of the papers today. There's nothing in any of these papers to do with Canate or Gay, okay? I know some of these Twitter twats and various outlets are trying to make out Real Madrid and Barcelona are sniffing around Gay. There has been nothing to suggest that in the media at all. Not in any of the 4 football publications here. That may change, all right? I'm sure. Don't get me wrong, there are outlets in Spain, like what we have in England, if you like Football Insider and Give Me Sport, things that you would ignore, which I would tell you to ignore in Spain, right? Clickbait outlets and shit like that. But the big guns, they haven't mentioned anything to do with gay as yet. I will let you know. I check these every day of the week for you. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it with you. If you found the video informative, please thumbs up the video. Please drop me a comment if you've got anything nice to say. And if you want to buy me a beer, because I'm going out for a beer today, or a coffee for tomorrow morning, there's a love out under the video. All right, it's called a super thanks. And anyone that does that, I always give them a shout out on my morning briefings on my other YouTube channel, the Duncan Oldham channel. The link to that channel is in the video description, and it will also pop up on the screen as well around now. My morning briefings on there for today. I'm going to sign off now. I've got another Traitor Trent episode coming up for you in a few moments.